Welcome to the Wealthy Podcast. My name is Hannah, and here's my lovely co-host.
Hey, it's Derek.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, Derek.
Hello.
How are you? Hello. Okay, so thank you so much, all of you, for tuning in and listening to Wealthy and tuning in every single week. We so appreciate you and are so glad you're still here.
Just glad you're here.
And if you're a newbie, welcome. You'll get to know us throughout the episode, so no formal introductions will be made today. Today, we're just going to dive right on in, and we are discussing your enabling attitude of taking your Treat Yourself Tuesday.
Treat yourself.
That you talked about and you started in November, and you've just randomly been treating yourself since then. So
I treated myself once and I can't stop.
And it felt so good. So today we're just talking about that imbalance and where to find the moderation in treating yourself and in, putting your lips to the Blarney Stone and just getting to work.
What is a Blarney Stone?
The Blarney Stone.
I've heard the phrase, but I've never thought about it.
I thought that was a thing.
It is, but I don't know what it is. I've just heard the Blarney Stone.
Okay, I'm not going to use
what if you
unique
put your
phrases
lips
anymore.
to it, though?
You're supposed to kiss it. I don't know. I don't think it actually applies.
It's gotta be good luck then or something.
It is good luck, but
All
I don't
right.
think it applies to what I was using it for. So you have to put in the hard work and sometimes just push your limits and push past the uncomfortability and then earn a treat yourself day, right? Like, what are your thoughts on this, Derek?
No, so that's exactly. There's a right and a wrong way. We're not advocates of just, you can't 100% go, and then you're just going to burn yourself out, right? And then you burn yourself out and and that's usually when you either quit altogether, which that doesn't do any good, or you end up going so hard that when you do finally are almost forced to stop and just take a breath and then now you're kind of like you're weaker going back into it because you're almost like traumatized. Not like in that extreme of a sense, but it's hard. You can definitely push it too hard. There are small little things that you need to do along the way to take care of yourself. And those treat yourself. And that's how you do it. We're going to talk about how to do it the right way because there's a right way.
There's always a right way to do things.
There's a better way. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the biggest thing that Hannah and I, when we were talking about this and we were thinking about the whole treat yourself mentality, why are you feeling yourself up over there?
Because that's what you're doing. I can tell.
Don't
you're
try to flip it over to me when I call you out on your weirdness.
You're like rubbing your pecs, and it's like I can't tell if it's like because
you're like massaging yourself.
No, I wasn't. I was
flip it back on me.
Oh my gosh, Mom, just skip this.
Everybody. Anyways, when we were talking about the treat yourself mentality, typically this is what happens is you think, man, I have got this super hard or difficult thing I've got to do. Man, I've been working so hard. I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to not do it and go do something that is the complete opposite instead. So easy example is working out, right?
Or in my mind, an easy example is saving money.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so money working out. We should make a show.
We should make a podcast about the similarities of the fitness and the finance world.
I'm just gagging right now. Like, get over yourselves.
Shut up. You're already doing it. Just talk.
So that's it, though. Let's do both. So you think, man, I worked out 3 times last week, and I've been pretty good on my food. And I worked out yesterday. I'm tired. And I've been doing pretty good. I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to sleep in and I'm going to, it's Saturday. Let's say it's a Saturday. You think, I'm not going to work out Saturday. I did pretty good this week. I'm going to wake up. I'm making waffles and there's going to be whipped cream and nuts and powdered sugar.
Wait, sorry.
I don't know.
Who puts nuts on waffles?
Some people put them in the batter. Yeah. Get over it.
Ew.
Other people have different tastes besides you. Anyways, so you think you're just going to go all out on this food. You're going to smash your diet. You're going to have a lazy Saturday. And in your mind, you're thinking, this is going to feel so good that when I'm done with this, I'm just going to be so rip-roaring ready to get back into it. And then what happens? You don't.
Because all the things. Like I've done this. Like we've all done this. Like
tell us about it.
Everyone has done it. No, but it's just like, I'm going to do this again. Like it feels so good to justify it. And it's so easily justified because here you've done all this hard work and, really put
hopefully you've done some hard work.
Well, I mean, I actually know a ton of people who don't put in the hard work and then they or I guess it could be hard work for them. But in my mind, it's like not even making a dent in their goals.
Right.
And then they're like, I'm going to take a break. And it's like, you haven't earned that break at all. But for me, in getting in this rhythm, it's dangerous because it feels so easy to justify it the next day too. Because Sunday is technically my real rest day.
Right.
And so it's like I took Saturday off and treated myself to waffles without nuts in the batter because that's normal. Then Sunday is my normal rest day. So I kept it. What's going to happen on Monday when I try to show up?
You probably feel like garbage. And so you don't even want to show up in the first place.
Yeah. Or I just don't. And it turns into this vicious cycle of, yeah.
So there's definitely the overdoing it aspect, I think, where this is another danger with the whole treat yourself mentality is if you do some work, which is great, right? You did some work. Awesome. We always think it has to be proportional. And it shouldn't be. It's kind of like if we wanted to flip it to the money side real quick, think about this. If you work hard, you put in overtime, so you're doing more than, guys, there is a bare minimum that we all need to be doing with as far as like making money and taking care of ourselves, right?
Yes.
So I'm sorry. I'm not going to clap for you and cheer you and give you a high five parade just for doing the minimum of what you should do by being an adult, which is you go to work regularly, eat semi-healthy, and you're active in some way, right? You have a hobby, you go on walks, you see people, whatever, like the bare minimum. Cool. But anyway, so you're doing that. Now, applause to those that are going the extra mile. They are locking down their diet. They're doing the harder workouts, or actually doing workouts. They're pushing themselves, or they're working out overtime. They've got side hustles, whatever. They're doing more than the bare minimum. Great. Good job, guys. Proud of you. Then they go to the treat yourself time, right? And this is where they treat themselves up, is that they, like I said, flip into the finance side. You work that overtime. You make the $400 extra. You're going to go blow $600, $700 because you're like, well, I worked so hard. I'm going to treat myself. And I made $400 extra on that overtime. I'm going to go buy a new iPad.
So now I'm really only paying $200 for an iPad.
And it's like, so you didn't actually make any progress at all because none of your money went to go save or invest or make more money. Right. You ended up just spending more money that you never even had. Or with the diet stuff, you ball out so hard on your diet and no exercise that if you don't make yourself sick, you go and have like a $3,000, $4,000 calorie day, just go insane with it. And it's like, cool. All your workouts, all that sweat and effort you put in all week just got totally negated. Right.
Well, and what bugs me is that it's like you are going to eat yourself to the point of sick. And not feeling well. Because I'm sorry, the foods that we go to when we think of cheat day aren't the ones that we should be fueling ourselves with to have a sustainable and balanced living. It is all about, what have I been craving that I've been neglecting in my life?
Right.
And so it maybe more so in my mind, I don't think of one meal or one day ruining the foundation that you've set.
No.
But in my mind, and for my personal experience, that one meal or that one day of eating really poorly sets me up that I can't work out for the next 3 to 5 days because I'm sick.
That's true. That definitely for you. Yeah.
Sick from the food I chose to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. I'm the same way. If I have certain foods, like soda gets me, I'll feel that in my system for probably about two workouts. I feel like I have to sweat it out and breathe it out, and it sucks. Yeah. So,
but then on the saving money side of things, it's crazy. Yeah. Because it's interesting that the harder you work or the harder you are perceived to work in your own head, the greater the treat yourself day is, like what you were saying. It's it just turns into this snowball effect of, oh, well, I can do a blah, 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 blah. What I don't love about the treat yourself mentality is that what is automatic for people to treat themselves to or for is directly opposite from what's getting them to their goals.
Yeah.
Whereas people in my mind could take a mindset shift and say, look, I have physical goals. I want to lose X amount of weight or look a certain way, or like I have this trip coming up that I want to feel better for. Mm-hmm. I am going to keep my workout today, but I am going to have something else after. Like,
right. And I know where you're going with that, but let me, I want to finish kind of what we were on first. Let's just get all our negativity about the treat yourself stuff. And then let's roll into the, how we can do it the right way. Cause I get where you're going and I like it. So one thing I wanted to touch on first. So we kind of talked about how you've done some work or you think you've done some work and the treat yourself ruins some time there, right? Or sets you back. Now, another bad way that the treat yourself mentality gets abused is preemptively. I'm going to do hard work. It's that last cigarette mentality. It's the, man, I am about to start this diet. So yeah, let's slam the bad food, or I'm about to start a new job and maybe make some more money because I'm going to be working harder. Let's go buy a new car, right? It's, you haven't actually done anything yet, but you go and you treat yourself. And it sucks because for the visual people out there like myself, it's the 2 steps forward, 2 or 3 steps back kind of a thing, right? Like
totally.
You got to think of it that way because that's really a good way to visualize your progress for success and in life, right? Are you actually moving forward? Really? Like when we run the numbers, quote unquote, are you really moving towards your goal, or are you just 2 back, 2 forward, 2 forward, 2 back, 2 forward, 2 back, just back and forth?
That is so exhausting. If you've never experienced that or made yourself go through that, like it's an exhausting way to live. And you burn out so much quicker because of that. Because here in your mind, you're still making that progress, or you should be. You're putting in the effort, but then you forget all the times that you are wasting it or spending that foundation. And that's when I think people burn out.
Oh yeah, for sure. They burn out, or that's when they start giving up. And it drives me nuts because you hear people talking about, I just can't get anywhere. My boss or my life situation or my circumstances. And it's like, is it really? Or are you just choosing an excuse because you don't have the discipline or the mindset or whatever it is to take because everybody has some kind of opportunity. And I mean that at the most basic level of you're alive, you have a body and a mind, right? Not to be insensitive, but anyone can go dig a ditch. You know what I mean? And there are people out there, because if you want to argue whether or not there's opportunity, because that's a huge debate, right? There are people out there seeking to reward just basic hard work. I think Hannah and I ourselves are very big about that. If we see people just working hard regardless, we will majorly overtip waiters, waitresses, and service people in general.
What's the highest tip you think we've ever given? Not to be like, this is how much money we spend, but it's just like,
I don't know a dollar amount, but I mean, I'd say anywhere between like 25s and 30% kind of thing, maybe even 50s,
yeah, I think
saw
my highest
someone
is like a 40%.
Yeah. Or like, for example, I went and got my car washed one time and there was this old man who was probably like in his 50s or something, but he was busting his butt. He didn't have some sour attitude. Like because I'm older, I've earned whatever. Like he was just there. He's like, I am here. I am working hard. I'm going to do my best. And I saw that. So I go through the wash and just circle back around. And I don't know what, I just grabbed whatever cash I had in my glove box and just like, hey man, just want you to know, like somebody out here appreciates that you're working hard, whatever, like not a big deal. And I could say he appreciated it. And I think I would like to think he went home that night and felt that much better about all the hard work he is putting in. Like, okay, yeah, like I got some recognition. My boss maybe didn't recognize, but it feels good that I've taken pride and without the recognition first, right?
Yes. So something I actually, it's kind of off topic, so I apologize. But did you know that for every one person who complains about a service or a product or anything, there are 26 people that have the same attitude about that, but they just don't communicate it?
That makes sense to me.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. The ratio, like
for every bad review, there's a large sum out there that.
But then the reverse is true. If for the one person who compliments you or actually does do the survey or gives the tip, there are 26 people who didn't act on it, but they feel that same way about the service.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. I just thought that was interesting.
So point is though, getting back to where we were, is that treating yourself preemptively is just an excuse to sometimes get out of that hard work, or you're not setting yourself up for success. And if you use it preemptively before you even start something, because like, man, I got to get my last cigarette, my last cheat meal, my last whatever, before I just buckle down. It's like, you're not even in the mindset ready to buckle down, right? Like you're not even there yet. You're going to be just going through the motions until you find the next opportunity to slack off and cheat on the diet or the money or whatever.
Something that, I mean, we could really resonate with right now is that, so I just got a new job and Derek will somewhat be involved a little bit too. And like, we'll be making quite a bit of money with this job.
For us. Yeah, well, it'll help us because we're not like super wealthy. Well,
okay. So for us who are hosting the podcast, we are making a little bit more from it. Mm-hmm. But because of that, we could either go one of two ways. We could either, and then with this job, we need to be buying some equipment for this job, but we could also splurge and get a couple other little things too. Cause it's like, oh, the money will be there. Like we'll just technically pay ourselves back for these random other purchases instead of like just sticking to the equipment. Cause that's what makes sense. And that's technically not it. In my mind, it's a treat yourself because it's like, I can do my job so much better with this, or that I can I love nerdy stuff and it's kind of nerdy to me, but then you could swing it the other way and have it be like, well, money's coming in, so I'm just going to spend it before it gets here. Yeah.
Sounds like an investment.
Yeah.
If it's going to allow you to do more later.
Absolutely. So I don't want people to think though that we're like, there's a big difference between an investment and a treat yourself.
Oh yeah. Huge. That's the point, right? Because the treat yourself, it doesn't do any good for you now. The excuse and the mentality is, oh, it gives me the mental break. I take a break, I relax, right? And that's good for you. And it is good for you. And we're going to go into the right way to do that. But people use that as that excuse. I need the mental break. And it's like, do you? Or you just need to toughen up a little bit and get used to being awesome and working hard.
Yeah. And you need to also, back to our last episode, you need to also own what you've chosen to have in your life. If it's there, you said yes to it. If it's a job you interviewed for and got it, you need to have that realization of like, you chose to have that job and you knew the job. It's like when people have babies and then they feel like they need this big reward for having these babies. And it's like, I think you chose to have a baby. And I mean, granted, some people don't choose to have babies and it's surprise and miracle and all these things, but the times that you choose to have a baby, but then 3 months down the road, you're like, man, I am so tired. Yeah, sure. Treat yourself to a massage, but then also notice where that takes you. Like, what's your mindset about being a mom or the job you've created or the goals that you've set? If you need to constantly be taking mental breaks, maybe you also need to reassess where your goal is at too.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you have children, I think you're stuck with them. So
yeah, I think so. Your face.
I mean, I haven't explored all the options, but like,
yeah, we'll leave them unexplored for now. All right. So moving on. The treat yourself needs to be a reward, right? That's kind of what we're driving at, is that it needs to be after the truly hard work, after doing the extra, instead of the 2 steps forward, I took 5 forward, right? I sacrificed. And now if you want to, I'll take 1 back, right? Because in my mind, you're either moving forward or backward. There's no, I'm standing still. There's no like, well, my +1 and my -1 equal. No. You either moved forward or you moved back, right? There's no just like, I'm taking a break and pausing. Well, you're breaking, pausing. That's just the success side, because time keeps going, whether or not.
It's almost like you're on an elevator and it's like you can either get...
No, because if you hold the door open on the elevator, it'll scream at you.
I'm saying...
The alarm will go off.
Did I say elevator? I really meant to say escalator.
Okay, yeah.
Escalator going... It's not an escalator. Never mind. I'm not as gifted as you are on the...
Point being is that you're either moving forward or back. And the treat yourself comes after the big leaps forward, the sacrifice, the working extra hard, going the extra mile. And along with that, though, and this is the key thing to this, is that how do you make it so that I am only taking the one step back and not the 5 back, right? I'm not canceling out everything I just did, because that's the whole point, right? Okay, cool. So I worked hard. I've earned it. I'm going to treat myself. Now what? Okay. So we had a little example for the fitness side of thing, right? You're working hard. You got everything down. How do you treat yourself without the giant crazy cheat meal, skipping your workout?
To me, if I were going to treat myself, I would still get my workout in, because I have the science background that it's like, I know the math that I can eat more and eat more of what I want to if I still get my workout in. So if you're going to treat yourself, I would suggest to still get your workout in and make it a hard, awesome, feel good workout, and then go eat what you want after. Instead of, think about it, if you were to skip your workout, then you're in my mind, you're limited on what you can actually cheat with.
Yeah, for sure. Because if you cheat too hard, it'll just send you that farther back.
Totally.
Or I like, you find ways that the treating yourself positively feeds into what you're trying to accomplish. So if it is the fitness and you're going to have a killer cheat meal, great. But go have like the biggest, most delicious, like, I don't know, for me, like Italian food. Yeah. A hamburger, have the big old burger and double the meat or whatever. And, like, so you're still getting your good protein and I don't know. There are ways that you can tweak it so that it's not just, well, I went and I had all the pizza and chocolate shakes and cookies all night and ice cream. Well, that doesn't move you forward at all. It sends you so all the way back. But if you, okay, well, I'm going to, instead of my normal, just like water-based, just powder protein shake, heck, add the scoop of ice cream or whatever, make it like a protein malt, like an actual ice cream shake, but throw your protein in there, because that is a treat.
So good.
That is good. You're getting the ice cream. You're not like faking yourself into, because I don't like that either, where it's like, oh, I'm treating myself, I used milk this time. Like, I used to do that, but it's like, it isn't really that much of a treat. And I never felt like I got it. And then I was just trying to get it again later.
Exactly. If you half-ass a treat yourself, you're going to need it again sooner, and you are going to need it bigger, and you'll be able to justify it being bigger and a little bit crazier than had you just done the balance thing in the first place to treat yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Or like I like to do as well, like with the money coming in stuff, right? Yeah, let's, instead of buying toys and things and whatever, just wasting money, let's put it into equipment and other investments that we know we'll enjoy, because we enjoy working. We enjoy our businesses. That is what is fun for us, right? And we know that putting that money into the, quote unquote fun stuff, equipment for business, lets us work harder, create more money that will eventually lead into, well, maybe instead of this time buying equipment, we're going to take a vacation, right? That's what your goal is. Your goal is to level up your treating yourself. We're not against treating yourself. We want you to have the treat yourself being, oh yeah, our treat yourself this month was we actually just went and spent 5 days in the Maldives, right? Like, that's what everybody wants their treat yourself to be as they're eating their chocolate malt watching Netflix. And they're like, okay. So if anyone's listening and it's like, that made you feel bad? Okay, that's fine. Good. Flip it around and be like, all right, enjoy the malt and get right back at work, and know that now you're motivated. I want my treat myself. Yeah. To be trips and your dream car or your house, or, dream big, treat yourself with an excellent life. Don't treat yourself with the cookie, right? Would you rather have the Oreo or the Lambo? Or if you don't want a car, like whatever it is, have the treat yourself be the massive milestones in your life, not just, the food. Like, you've got to level up your mindset and level up your treating yourself into this whole new dimension of, I like to work hard. I like to sacrifice, because I know that this is going to make my treats later in life 100 times bigger. It falls right in line with everything we've talked about, the whole compounding stuff, is that I'm sacrificing something small now, and you have to zoom out on your life and have a big timeline perspective on this. So while if you have your binoculars on, you're thinking, oh my gosh, like I'm so hungry and I just want to have my cheat meal. And oh my gosh, you're living so in that hour. Zoom out and be like, in a week, a month, in 5 years, 10 years, you know, is it worth it? Is it that big of a deal now? Or would you rather just say, I'm going to do all the overtime. I'm going to start sacrifice all these little things with that big perspective. And then your dreams are going to grow bigger with it.
So I would just want to kind of put numbers to this because in getting ready for this episode, I saw this really funny thing that it said, it's funny that I laugh and won't buy something for like $2.67 shipping, like $2.67. But here, if you I'll make I can't remember how it was worded, but essentially it was saying like, I'm shocked that I'll laugh or like not buy something because of that. But let alone I've probably spent $15,000 just on stupid $5 products of treat yourself, which I did the math and it's not hard to do the math, but that's 3,000 little tiny items that you just, it's a $5 justification. I've probably done that.
I'm sure we all have.
But that's the thing is like 3,000 $5 items. Like that is in the form of drive-through French fries, coffees,
dollar Walmart purchases or the discount Target bins.
Totally. Yes. So all those things. And it's like, just putting it into money. It's like, I have lost $15,000 because of my very lax or and they're stupid items. Like those $5 items aren't the items that you'll have for 20 years and sustainable and balanced and blah, blah, blah.
It's spur of the moment. Like, oh, this is cute. And then you probably lose it in like a week.
Yes.
Wait, you don't even remember it.
Exactly. So it just, I'm never going to look at the Target bins the same way again.
Well, another awesome trick that reminded me of, so thanks for sharing that,
You're so welcome.
The whole mentality and mental trick of, instead of looking at things in dollars of how they cost, think, how many hours did I work to afford this?
Yes.
So how many hours of me is it at the office or digging ditches or whatever your job is? How many hours is that? And you think about that like, okay, so for me to buy this new laptop I've wanted or whatever, okay, it's like a $2,000 laptop. I make $15 an hour, I work 40 hours a week. You know what I mean? And then I will
have to work this much. And
even if you have the cash available, that's fine. But it's like, okay, just convert your dollars into hours of your life and think, oh, like, is that worth it? And it might be, and it might not be, right? If the laptop is going to enable you to become the greatest videographer in the world and create content and start a business, awesome. I classify that as an investment.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if it's the cookies or I don't know, what if Crumble did like a subscription service and they charge you $10 a month or something?
Okay. Have you had their pink frosting cookies?
No, I haven't. Anyways,
I think we're going to treat ourselves tonight. Just kidding.
But that's the point though. Another mental trick is, you can do the dollars or convert the dollars to hours of your life. And it really puts things in perspective.
So I totally agree to this for money, but I don't agree with it at all. It makes sense. Yes, it does make sense, but I do not agree with the mental relationship it creates for the fitness side of things.
What do you mean?
I don't think when you eat something, you should think of how, I have to work out for this long or do this many burpees.
No, I hate that.
Like, I don't think that that's a healthy conversion in my mind.
And it's not a 1-to-1.
No.
It's so like when people look at like, oh, I burned 800 calories on the treadmill today. It's like,
I get to go eat an extra.
Or is that just a basic calculation that the treadmill does? Or like, it doesn't, it's just dumb. I don't even think we should or even need to get into it.
But I think a lot of people do it. Like, that's why I feel like it needs to be brought up, because I hate it, because I've been in fitness classes where the instructor is like, think about the dessert you get to go eat after this workout. And it's like, food and exercise shouldn't even be related. Like, as dumb as that sounds, like,
not in like a reward basis,
not in a reward and a punishment basis.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't think, yes, if you are wanting to lose weight, you need to be in a deficit. There's calories in, calories out, expenditure.
But it's a big picture view.
It's a big picture view, you know? And like, if it is going to cause you to have an eating disorder because you become so crazed of like the diet part of things and the calorie content or how high of calories things have. And then you need to balance that out with your exercise. Don't think about it as a reward and punishment thing. You know, think about it, I guess, them separate, but combined, if that makes sense at all.
Well, I think it creates a bad relationship where it's almost like I had to go through suffering so that I could eat.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Or
like, and then you viewed, if food is the positive reward, then that implies that exercise is a negative punishment to earn it's just weird. It's like, no, exercise should be like, for me, it's one of the best parts of my day. I feel so good after, and I'm so proud of myself for doing it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I
don't want to waste it. So I want to go eat good food. That's good for me.
Right.
I don't know.
And so you're actually fueled for your next thing. And I was going to say this, like when you were saying, you mentioned pasta, that like you would maybe go do that for a cheat meal.
Like a chicken Parmesan.
Oh,
that
yeah.
awesome.
But then it's like, you can think about it though, and maybe tailor your next workout. So that cheat meal, like while it tasted good and like emotionally, mentally, everything, it like felt good. But you can also go use that and say, I had a crap ton of carbs last night. I am going to run until my legs fall off today.
Yeah.
You know, or like do a high intensity cardio workout.
Oh yeah,
like
I did that today.
You can actually use that, but it's not a punishment thing. It's not because I ate my body weight in pasta, I have to go run it off now. It's I am using this cheat meal that I tricked, like I'm playing a tricking game on myself. It's like I rewarded myself. Food tastes good, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm going to go reward myself, but use that to fuel my workout, and vice versa. Maybe working out is your reward. And so you eat healthy for a week and then you get to go treat yourself to a fitness class, you know, and that's your treat yourself. You know, if you have like a gym membership that's really not, that great, or you work out from home, but then, your treat yourself is to go take an Orange Theory class or that yoga class you've really wanted to try.
Yeah. I mean, I do all of that. I literally last night I had pizza for dinner.
Yeah.
And so today I was thinking, what am I going to go work out at the gym? I knew I wanted to do some kind of HIIT, right? Because that's what I'm focusing on to cut a little bit, just drop some fat. I'm not so worried about my muscle mass. So what do? I thought, I'm going to do legs HIIT, like one of the biggest muscle groups. I'm doing high intensity cardio, like combine those two. I am going to be putting, like you said, putting that fuel to work.
Yes.
Not just letting it sit. I'm going to take all the glucose and all that stuff that got created from that food, because it's not inherently bad that I ate pizza. It's that I ate pizza all night. It was turning into fuel for me. And I felt like, man, I'm at the gym. I have no excuse. I'm not tired. I am ready. I am so fueled up to do a high intensity. Like I ran more longer than I normally run. I did probably 2 or 3 more supersets than I normally do. Like I just did more and I felt good about it. Cause I was like, I had awesome fuel in my body and there's no guilt and it felt good. Along with what else you were saying though about you could treat yourself with your workouts. Me, right? Going through HIIT and circuit stuff. It's not my normal thing. I'm learning to love it, but I'm still learning. There are days that I'm like, I really don't want to just go do 100 burpees and feel like I'm jumping around all day. Like it's hard.
What's your not your weird invention, but your burp up?
The new one, I think I'm going to call it like a barfie.
A barfie.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I don't know. So all it is.
I mean, just to have the listeners understand why you don't like HIIT.
But I'm learning to like it because I'm making stuff up.
Well, I know, but like, I'm sorry. I don't think I would like it either if I did this.
No, all it is, it's basically a burpee. Like that's the foundation of it. So you're at the standing, you drop down, you do a push up. Then you do a shoulder touch on each side, right? So you're in the push-up position, in the up position, like arms
a high
extended.
Plank.
Yeah, high plank. Then, left arm touches right shoulder, drop it. Right arm or right hand comes up, touches left shoulder, drop it. So you're back in. And then you stand up. So you bring your feet forward. And then you jump like you would for a burpee, but you jump and you do a knee tuck as well. So you have your hands out like at
like a tuck jump.
Yeah, tuck jump. So you bring your knees up as well. So it's just adding a couple extra movements in there because I wanted to.
I was thinking of the pull-up one.
Oh, the pull-up one is just a burpee, but I jump up to the pull-up bar and do a pull-up.
So I think that should be called a burp up.
Yeah, so I've called those burp ups, and I'm calling the new one barfies because it works your core a little bit more with the tuck jumps and with the shoulder touches. Like my shoulders are just
good.
Yeah, it's killer. But
but you're awesome to keep like reinventing your own things that will make you excited.
I get bored. That is my challenge. I as much as I love the gym and I love working out and treating myself with workouts and stuff, I get bored. That's my challenge. I always have to try new things. So
how do you treat yourself with workouts?
I'll go back to the strength training, just maybe like once a week. I'll go back to my just favorites of all time. I'll be like, I'm just going to have just a bro science life arm day. I am doing bicep curls and tricep rope extensions and preacher curl, just all my
Arnold
favorites.
Press.
Yeah, all my favorites. I am just going to go and I am going to enjoy the heck out of it, get my pump on and get swole. But that's how I'll do it though. And it's awesome because it makes me like, I'm not like, oh, I've banished my old ways. It's like, but my old ways are great. Like, you still need to have a strength workout every now and then. And I love it and it makes me feel good. And that's my break. I'm taking a break from HIIT and doing strength training. And instead of taking a break from working out altogether. So my body is still active. I'm sweating. I'm putting my muscles into use. And honestly, sometimes now that I flipped where instead it was 1 out of 10 was HIIT, it's now 1 out of 10 is strength. The majority's HIIT. Now those strength workouts are that much better because my large muscle fibers, right? Not the fast twitch, but the slow twitch muscle fibers aren't as used. So they're like, whoa, we're waking up. And so I don't know. It's been a good shock to my system and it's a good symbiotic relationship between the two things. And I don't know. Yeah, I just have a good relationship with it. But that's what can happen if you develop a good mentality about I'm treating myself with the type of work I enjoy, not just
pushing in the, like putting phrases aren't my friend today. Putting in the work. Just
phrases are friends, not something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sorry.
No, you're good. But I don't need to repeat what you said. It's fine.
Okay. But that's how I treat myself to a different kind of workout. That's how I treat myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So having a better mentality about treating yourself. We already talked about a lot of it. Just a quick recap, because we kind of went off on a tangent there for a sec, but it's treating yourself by not going all out and negating all the work you just did. And you do that by making sure that the way you're treating yourself is in support of your goals and your challenges. So
instead of in the direct opposite of your goals.
Right. And so that's the literal sense. And then for the mental side of it as well, is you need to enjoy it. Own it. Like Hannah said, if you're going to buy it, you own it. That is yours. You chose this. So just love it. Like
what? The treating part?
Yourself. Yeah. If you are choosing to treat yourself, you got to cut the guilt out. You got to cut it all out and just be like, hey, nope, this is what I'm doing. And I love it. And it's what I do. And I'm all about it. And I found great success using that for my diets.
Yeah.
By cutting out snacking and I'm going to have 1 cookie a day, right? I'm probably going to have no desserts all week, but on Sunday or whatever, when my sister, who's an amazing cook, makes this like crazy buttercream frosting 5-layer cake, I'm going to have my big old slice and a glass of milk. And I am just going to love every single bite of it. And I'm going to go home and I'm not going to feel guilty. And the next day I'm going to wake up and go work out and continue doing my thing. And in my mind, I'm not, I got to work off the cake. It's no, I freaking earned that cake. And I went all out to eat that cake and I loved it. And if anyone asks me, I'll say, yep, I had a big old slice of cake on Sunday. Oh, really? Like a cheat meal? No, not really. It's just that's just how I do it. If I'm going to cheat, I'm going to everything.
Absolutely. And I also think you need to buy into the idea of not just loving and owning your cheats, but also knowing and loving and owning your goals that you've set.
Yeah.
You know, that too is like, if you make physical goals or financial goals, you need to not feel like you have to have a cheat or have to have a treat yourself all the time. And that's where you need to check back in and see if you need to reassess your goals, because maybe your goals were a little bit too far away, that you're feeling strained and feeling like you are going to get to burnout faster than you would have if you set attainable goals. So if you haven't listened to that episode, go listen to that one. But I think that's huge too. You need to be in ownership of what you're claiming for your goals, and then also in your treating zone too.
Yeah, exactly. There should be no shame, you know what I mean, about.
And if you're feeling shameful, maybe cheat or treat yourself in a different way.
Right. Maybe that's a red flag. Or at the same time, but I specifically though, I think with what you said about owning your goals and your, you know, what you're trying to do with your life, we may not feel shame, but we might feel embarrassed by like our goals, you know, some people like, cause they're trying to change their lives. And it's weird. There's this weird culture where everyone is so like, get this bread, making money, doing this, I'm going to be success, motivation. But then they look over and their best friend says, hey man, you know, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to work hard and I got this job at an office, you know, and it's just what I'm doing. Man, you're selling out. It's like, Kate, your best friend just said he wants to make his life better. Who gives a crap how he's doing it? If he's bettering himself, he's working hard, he's going to educate himself,
and
all these things.
And if it makes him happy.
Yeah. And if they're going to be happy, like, I'm sorry, you either like shut the hell up or get over it or go away, because nobody needs that person in their life. So if you're that person that gives people crap for trying to be better, or I don't know, just check yourself, right? Because what probably happened is, sadly, you probably tried to do the same thing at some point in your life and someone shot you down. So now you're going to go continue the chain, break the chain, be the awesome supportive guy. If someone comes to you and says, hey, I'm going to start a plush puppy shop, and you think it's the dumbest idea ever, which by the way, it's not, but if that's your idea or their idea, you should that is awesome. If that's what's going to make you happy, that's what motivates you in life, and you're going to go work hard. High five. You're the best. Let me know what I can do for you. That should be it. You know, but people aren't always like that. So sometimes we feel embarrassed to share our goals. You got to own it though, and just be like, you know what? This is me. And if you can't be down with trying to better yourself, then we're probably going to see each other a little less in the future.
Yeah. And I think you have to also keep in relationship with whether you call it visualization or manifestation or
putting it into the universe,
the law of attraction,
I love that
you
stuff.
Believe it. If you think it, you believe it. That if you buy into that, then you should be telling everyone about your goals. And the people who are a-holes about it, they will be a-holes no matter what. They will be a-holes no matter who. So let them be a-holes, and then you just keep doing you.
Yeah. Real life experience. I'm that guy that I can attest. I'm always like, oh yeah, I'm going to conquer the world one day. You know, just that level of just so far out that I've been laughed at before. Right. And it's funny though, because I have people I work with every day that went from the people that kind of laughed at me to asking me advice and, hey, how do I do it? And I will tell them A to Z, 1 to a million. This is how you do it. Let me know if you need help. I'm here for you, because I don't want any sort of bitterness or bad energy in my world. And I'm not going to put that into theirs. And I wish someone would have supported me. So I'm going to support them.
Well, but at the same time, how good does it feel to be the better person in that situation? It does too.
I do have a petty streak in me a mile wide. And it's like, yes, you have learned. Welcome back. But I get to have that moment, and then I need to take my own advice and support them. But yes, that's the point though, is that often that's how it goes, is they'll challenge you and then they'll ask you how you did it.
Absolutely. And I think we need to just, keep plugging along. Like if you made goals and you did the work to figure out what goals actually work for you and will actually help take this idea and shape them, then you need to just stick with it and own it, but notice yourself along the way and treat yourself accordingly along the way.
Yeah, definitely. You need to always be checking in with yourself, taking self-evaluations and self-assessments. And am I going where I want to go? Am I becoming who I want to become? And am I helping others along the way? Because if you're not, then it's all pretty pointless. It shouldn't be for yourself.
Yeah. I think something to think about too is success. Treat yourselves goals. It's not linear. It's circular. In my mind, I think it's circular.
No, keep going.
I think there is a fall down point. I think there is a growth period. I think there is a oh my heck, what have I gotten myself into period. There's a period of, oh my gosh, I'm blissed out. Should I take on more? And then you do take on more. And then it's, oh my gosh, too much. And then you get to that fall down period again, you know?
Yeah.
And it just goes over and over and over again. So something to notice is just where you are on the circle, and just know that you are going to constantly be in that movement, in that position, that circular fluidity, you know, like just because you are feeling good about your goals, it doesn't mean that you're never going to see them because it's circular. It just means that the way you're going about it and the motion of the way you're seeing your progress and seeing your treat yourselves and everything, is going. It might look a little different than how you imagine, and that's okay.
Yeah. So there's a really cool, I've talked about Ray Dalio before. I like him a lot. Definitely one of my kind of mentor type things. So he has this principle and this kind of diagram of, he calls it the hero's journey. Okay. So just like you said, circle, imagine a circle, and there's a little person walking through the circle, right? They're just going along it. And this is their adventure. All of us have an adventure we're going to go on. And first you have the call to adventure. It's, I am called to do this. I want to do this, whatever.
This is my purpose.
Exactly.
This is my meaning. This gets me passionate. Call. This gets me fired up.
It gets you out the door. You put on your pack and your walking stick. You start on your adventure. And after that, you cross the threshold. That's where, so you hear the call, you cross the threshold out in the world, and then you begin walking along the road of trials. So that is pretty much what everyone thinks of, right? And honestly, not a lot of people get past this because they start walking on this road. They say, holy crap, this is a rocky road. I am heading back to the house. So, but the hero, because you are a hero on your own adventure, does not. You persevere. Eventually.
I think you could pursue too, but.
Yeah, you're pursuing the adventure. All right. Eventually though, you hit what's called the abyss. And I'm quoting from his example, so all credit to him. You hit what's called the abyss, which is basically the ultimate low point of your life. It is your defeat. It is your failure. It is when Ray Dalio, the manager of the world's largest hedge fund, his first 2 hedge funds went bankrupt, went out of business. He failed. He failed. Had to start from scratch.
And I don't think it's like a life failure too. It can be, but it's, think about these circles as going towards your goal too.
No, but that's the thing, is that you have the road of trials, and you may have little failures and stumbles and tripping along the way. But no, this is your one key event. You will have one key event, and hear me out.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
You'll go through your abyss in that one key event, because that one key event transforms you. Then you go through what he calls your metamorphosis. It's what turns the adventurer into the hero, because you overcome the abyss. The ultimate trial, failure, defeat, death, whatever it is that you come through, you are able to conquer it. You go through metamorphosis. It is life-changing. And then after the metamorphosis, you receive what he calls the ultimate boon, which, if you are not a literary person, a boon is like a reward. It is, you receive the ultimate boon, you receive the ultimate reward, everything you've ever wanted. You win. The parades and the money and the accolades and whatever you want, it's yours. The hero is successful. And after this, though, there's one last step. And this is what Hannah and I try to drive home to everybody, is that after the adventurer turned hero receives his ultimate boon, his ultimate reward, he returns it to the next adventurer who is trying to become a hero. That's the point. is that you have your calls. We all have our call to adventure. We all cross the threshold at some point in our life. All of us do. I think it's a rare occasion that nobody at least tries, right? Even if it is, you're a writer and it's like, well, I have my secret notepad I hide under my bed that I've written in once. That's crossing the threshold. You did it. You put the pen to paper. You go down your road of trials. You have your ultimate failure. And you have to overcome it though, and knowing that if I overcome this, I will be a different person on the other side of this for the better, because it is what takes you from being an adventurer to a hero, receiving your ultimate reward, and then being able to turn around and pass all your knowledge and experience and everything you've earned and saying, I'm going to give it to the next adventure because my life is now coming to a close. Because this is what he puts us in perspective of a life cycle. When you're young, you have the call to adventure, you go through growing up. Midlife crisis could be the abyss, right? Something like that. If it doesn't change you, you're off the hero's path. You failed on your adventure, or you overcome it. You go through older age, and now you're able to turn around to the younger generations and pass on all that knowledge and experience. And don't you want to be a hero? Passing on how to defeat the abyss instead of an adventurer saying, well, I did this 1 or 2 things and I just really,
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. This was such a great episode and we are so grateful that you tuned in. We really look forward to talking to you again next week. We both hope you had some inspiration and felt some good things about treating yourself in a balanced and sustainable way, as opposed to going off the deep end and maybe creating a place that you can't get out of for yourself to meet your goals, to continue on your journey. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please rate, review, and subscribe. Tell a friend about this podcast. We all know that that's really the way that podcasts get out there and get spread. So please tell a friend. We so appreciate you. And again, this is my co-host.
This is Derek.
He's so cute. Look at his face. And I'm Hannah. Chesty says hi, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks so much, you guys. Love you all. Bye.